Is homelessness illegal in the United States? The simple answer is no, but what is illegal is going to shock you. Because today, in many parts of the country, you can't be arrested for being homeless, but you can be arrested for sleeping. Let's make this simple. Homelessness is not a crime. There's no law in the United States that says you can't exist without housing. But here's where it changes. The law may not punish the status of being homeless, but it does punish the behavior that comes with it. Things like sleeping outside, camping, using a blanket in public, or sitting and lying down in certain places too long. So the real question isn't, is homelessness illegal? It's whether or not survival while homelessness is illegal. In June of 2024, the U.S. Supreme Court answered that exact question in the case called City of Grants Pass v. Johnson. In a 6-3 decision, the court ruled that a city can enforce anti-camping laws, even if someone has nowhere else to go. The reasoning was this: these laws don't punish people for being homeless. They punish the act of sleeping or camping in a public place. And according to the court, that does not violate the 8th Amendment's ban on cruel and unusual punishment. This ruling also clarified something very important. The Constitution may limit how you can punish someone, but not necessarily what behaviors can be made illegal. In simple terms, you can't punish someone for being homeless, but you can punish them for what they have to do to survive. Before this ruling, things were different. A previous case, Martin v. Boise, said that cities could not punish people for sleeping outside if there weren't enough shelter beds available. That protection is now gone. Cities no longer have to prove that there's somewhere else people can go, which means even if there's no available shelter, sleeping outside can still be illegal. So what does this actually look like in real life? In places like California, cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco have expanded enforcement of anti-camping laws, clearing encampments more aggressively than before. In Oregon, where this case started, cities already had laws banning sleeping in parks or public spaces, and now those laws are easier to enforce. In Florida, a new statewide law bans public camping entirely, and even allows legal action against cities that don't enforce it. In Tennessee, camping on public land can be charged as a felony in certain cases. And as someone who was homeless in that exact state, I remember when that law was passed, and I was glad that I had found stability by then. In states like Texas and Missouri, cities are enforcing public sleeping bans, and in some cases, the state can step in if they don't. So across the country, the pattern is clear. The law is shifting towards enforcement, not prevention. And this creates a contradiction, because again, being homeless isn't illegal. But if you have no home, where are you supposed to sleep? Especially if you can't sleep outside and you don't have a place inside, then what exactly are you allowed to do? And this is where the conversation usually goes wrong, because this isn't just a legal issue. It's a systems issue. Housing, income, healthcare, support systems. When those are connected, people stay stable. When they break, people fall. And what we're seeing right now is a system that reacts after the fall, instead of preventing it in the first place. Supporters of these laws say cities need control over their public spaces. And I agree completely, that is true. But critics argue you can't enforce your way out of a systemic failure. And that's also true. Because if the root problem isn't solved, then the outcome doesn't change. So, is homelessness illegal? No. But surviving without a home often is. And that tells you something important. We're not solving the problem at the root yet. And that's why we at Avarian Systems have started the Streets to Stability project. Our focus is on building systems that don't just react, but actually prevent people from falling in the first place. So if you want to be a part of something that actually fixes this, come build with us. All you have to do is visit avariansystems.com to learn more.